Good afternoon and welcome to this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Huntington on April 20th, 2026. We will call the meeting to order at this time, beginning with a roll call. Christie?
Mayor Strick,
Present.
Danielle Albertson,
Present.
Megan Bonbrake,
Present.
Ian Lindsay is absent, Anthony Lisinickia.
Present.
Thank you. And having established a quorum for the conducting of city business, we'll move along to the first item on the agenda, which is the minutes of the previous meeting of April 6th. Is there a motion to bring the minutes as submitted to the floor for consideration and adoption?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the minutes. Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of adoption of the minutes as submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The minutes are adopted. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing regarding lead service line replacement, PER. We'll go ahead and open up the public hearing at this time. Are there any members of the public here to address the Board of Works regarding the lead service line replacement, PER? Not seeing or hearing any members of the public at this time, we will close the public hearing. Not aware of any old business. Moving along to new business. First item under new business is a riverfront application request by the newsroom. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and approval?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second. With us today, we have the owners and operators of the newsroom, and invite them to come forward to the microphone and introduce themselves by name and address, and present to the board a little bit of what you're doing.
All right. Well, my name is Lori Plaster. I'm here representing the newsroom. We've been working on the project for quite a little bit of a time, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a timeline and go into an overview of the whole project and what brings us here today. As you can see on the screen, there is our property at 7 North Jefferson Street, located on Jefferson and State Street, with the riverfront parcel adjoining it as well. And thank you for your time today. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the timeline. We went ahead and purchased the property in fall of 2021. In the fall of 2023, our changes of use and architectural drawings were approved by the Army Corps of Engineers, Homeland Security in the state of Indiana, and Huntington, granting us our construction permits, which we renewed fall of 2025. In the 2.5 years that we have held those construction permits, we have completed the majority of the historic restoration and build. The fire suppression retrofit is completed, electric is completed, and plumbing and gas are nearing completion as our contractors balance finishing our project with military trainings. Which means our next steps include wet inspections, closing the walls that are left open for the sake of those wet inspections, finishing curating the space, and preparing to open. This process has included all parts of the building, such as the food preparation and distribution facility in the add-on, and the topic of today's discussion, the Newsroom LLC, which will operate in the historic first floor as well as in the outdoors facing the riverfront. The Newsroom is designed to be more than a restaurant and bar. During the day, we will cater towards the work from home and remote working community. We will be available for private events such as weddings and wedding receptions, for which we will allow outside catering, and for our own events, which may be the part that we are the most excited for. Highlighting original music and shows, we look forward to bringing memorable, enjoyable, and unique experiences to our corner of downtown. Our setup allows for these events to occur inside a meticulously restored and renovated historic newsroom, complete with historical Huntington artifacts, and, as weather allows, to flourish outside alongside outdoor dining and the beautiful Little River. In addition to these shows and events, our food and drinks are crafted to be an experience in their own. The ownership team, myself, my husband Rick, and my sister Jenny, all bring our own relevant experiences to this part of the plan. Jenny successfully owned and operated award-winning Kitchen 17 in Chicago, which also included the Fallen Log, her music venue, which caught the attention of NPR and other well-known outlets. Rick, in addition to having been a touring musician, stage managed for such events as the Hollywood Music Awards and has decades of experience as a respected mixologist, having consulted and designed drinks for some of LA's most notable locations. Together, we crafted cocktails out of foraged ingredients, competed, and catered a celebrity wedding, which got us a sentence or two in People magazine. My experiences in space design, packaging design, product development, and food distribution also come into play. And if you attended the market on Main Street last week, you may have seen us standing there with plants. These varieties of heirloom tomatoes and rare peppers are part of the backbone of this concept. In addition to selling the plants, we will go on to use that produce, as well as other locally grown and sourced produce, as the foundation for our menu items, including, and as it pertains to today's conversation, for our Bloody Mary mix, which is going to be just as delicious with or without alcohol. If you watched our original crowdfunding video about this project, we can assure you that almost nothing has changed. We've stayed the course, battled the battles, and taken the risks in order to not fall short on our promises. Our new addition to the original plans is our Professor Bubbles room. So in a side room that seemed to be a little bit forgotten and just was probably going to be more of a storage room is now going to be the Professor Bubbles room, named after my great-grandfather, Eiffel Plasterer, who was known as Huntington's national treasure and was known for his bubble and light shows, as well as for his farming and agricultural practices, with the original Pioneer Festival having taken place at the old Plasterer farm. The idea is for this space to be a premium tasting room, with whiskey tastings being one of the probably more popular ideas that go along with any kind of tasting room here. And it will be adorned with heirlooms that are just as much of a part of Huntington's history as they are our own. Now, I could go on for hours about the specifics of this project, quite literally from the floors to the ceiling, which we have restored the original hardwood floors from the White Lock Press building, as well as the original tin ceilings. We've exposed the interior brick wall and some of the other more interesting things that we found along the way that we didn't know existed, such as doorways and a staircase. And we look forward to being able to bring this to the public. I'm going to go ahead and open this up for questions for you guys so that I don't drag this on.
So, board members, the specific item before you today is regarding the riverfront application. So, a riverfront district is something allowed under state statute, which City of Huntington has already created through City Council, which expands the number of alcohol and liquor sale licenses to establishments as long as they're within proximity to flowing water, which is the state's definition for a river. So the newsroom is within those geographic limits, and so that is the question before you today, to authorize them and be able to move forward in that process. So any questions for them while they're here? Okay, Mr. Harburg, anything you would add? Okay. So with that then, we will call the question in favor of the request regarding the riverfront application for the newsroom. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is a water leak adjustment request from Teresa Long at 231 South Broadway. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration today?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. I want to invite Ms. Long to step forward.
I'm the renter, and he's the property owner. And in November, the pipes did freeze. And then I noticed like a week later, there was something else going on with the water. And then all of a sudden it stopped working. Of course, I contacted Ed right away, and then they came out, and there was obviously a leak that the bill is now, what, over $2,000? So we're asking for an adjustment.
Okay, any other details the board should be made aware of?
Like she said, I'm Ed Shear, and I'm the property owner. We have 9 properties in the Huntington area, and we take care of them. And Teresa's a great renter. She, of course, had a horrible leak underneath the trailer. She didn't know, and that's why it took so long to get it discovered. But as you can see, it was a sizable leak. As soon as we knew that what was taking place, we called the city, and it was actually on a Saturday evening, and they were very prompt and came and turned it off immediately. So we then got it fixed and called them on Monday morning and had it turned back on.
Okay.
Thank you.
You. Okay, you guys can have a seat for now then. Jennifer?
Afternoon. Okay, so the reason that they did have to come here is because we can only give one adjustment per rolling calendar year for having an issue and getting it fixed. Back in October, November, they took an adjustment for a leak that they had with the toilet for $20.07. They're coming back today because of this very large bill for the additional leak that they had. Let's see, a few months later, it was in February, customer had emergency shut off for the leak running water issue. Customer received 2 high bills for this. Again, we can only give them one adjustment, so they're here today to ask for another adjustment. A part of this too, before they come to the Board of Works, they do have to sign up for a payment plan, and she did that, so that part is done. So if the Board of Works granted the adjustment on the 2 high bills, we would take off $2,225, I think, and 91 cents, $2,125.91, and that would make her new balance due $356.59. And we did go out to confirm that the leak was fixed for the second time,
Okay.
for the new leak.
Thank you. Board members, any questions or discussion?
There were 2 separate incidences, right? They weren't
Correct.
Okay. Related
Yes.
at all?
2 different things happen.
Okay. How often has this been brought, something like this has been brought to the board before?
It's been several years since I've had to come to a meeting.
So this
I
is
think.
not unheard of to do something like this then? If
Right.
Circumstances,
Yeah, part of the background for the board's benefit, this actually used to occur quite more frequently. And that was part of the reason for instituting the policy that allowed a repayment plan. And so that's allowed people to get caught up in these situations. The situations that still have to come before the board, just like this, are when there's already been a small adjustment and then a much larger issue appears. So by statute, Jennifer and her team, they can't do anything about that. And so then, at that point, it does need to come before the board for determination. Further questions or discussion by board members? Okay, so then do need a motion from a board member regarding the leak adjustment request to either grant the additional adjustment or to deny the request.
I move we grant the permission.
Okay, is there a second?
Actually, I have a question. Sorry. Probably didn't speak up soon enough.
Is it pertaining to the motion or pertaining to the underlying facts of the matter?
The facts.
Okay,
matter.
we're gonna let that motion die for now.
What was the timeline again? You said something about a frozen pipe? On
That
a
was-
Saturday?
That was in November, correct?
No, November, the toilet was running extra long,
Okay.
okay? She notified us, we went out, put new parts inside the toilet, and got that stopped. The leak that caused the big water bill was because of a frozen pipe. And again, it is a trailer that sits there on the corner, and she just thought maybe it had got froze up, didn't realize that it was leaking like that under.
And when was that pipe freeze then?
February.
February, okay,
Really, really cold.
got it. Further questions?
No.
Okay. So no further question or discussion then. Let's revisit that motion. Can you please make it again for the record?
I propose that we accept.
So we have a motion to grant the request for an additional adjustment on this property for a reduction of $2,125.91, leaving a balance of $356.59. Is there a second?
I second.
I have a motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? Not seeing or hearing further discussion. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The adjustment's awarded. Thank you both, and thank you, Jennifer. Next item under new business is a life insurance presentation by the Standard with Director Carroll. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration today?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Carroll.
Good afternoon. Today I'm recommending that the city transition its long-term disability, life, accidental death and dismemberment, and voluntary life insurance program for employees and retirees to a new provider. I am recommending we move from Mutual of Omaha to the Standard effective May 1st of 2026. Our current provider, Mutual of Omaha, has presented ongoing challenges, including continual rate increases, billing issues, and lack of satisfactory customer service. After reviewing multiple alternatives, we believe that the Standard offers a strong overall solution, providing both immediate cost savings and long-term financial advantages. The key reasons for this recommendation are as follows: ongoing dissatisfaction with the level of service from Mutual of Omaha, a projected cost savings to the city for the employer-provided basic life insurance rates paid for by the city with approximately a $10,000 annual savings depending on enrollment. Inclusion of a line of duty benefit for firefighters and police officers, enhancing overall life insurance offerings. Employee voluntary life guarantee issue maximum will rise from $100,000 to $250,000 without employees having to fill out an evidence of insurability. And this is offered to employees during our open enrollment period that we have every year. Also, a fixed premium rate for the next 3 years. So as the city continues to identify opportunities for cost savings, the transition aligns with our financial goals. The proposed plan will reduce overall insurance expenses while maintaining quality coverage for our employees. And based on these considerations, I recommend that the board approve the transition to the Standard. And with me today, I have Hagen Youngworth and Bill Sylvester from Gallagher, who is our insurance broker, and Adam Cook from the Standard, and they are here to answer any questions that you guys might have.
Thank you, Director Carroll. Board members, any questions regarding the recommendation or from the professionals that are in the room to talk with us about it?
I'm sorry, Madam Miss, you said there would be no lapse from switching?
Right.
Okay.
Yep, this would go into effect May 1st.
For how long? Until when?
Well, 3 years
Okay.
with no rate increase. Actually, savings.
You said it was
About $30,000 over 3 years, yes.
okay, I was going to say you said about $10,000 annually? Yep, okay.
Coverage is the same.
It's actually better, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Presented it well.
Glad to hear that.
Further questions or discussion? Okay, not hearing any at this time. Is there a motion to act on the recommendation and authorize the transition from Mutual of Omaha to the Standard?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the motion to act on the recommendation? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is River Fork West Section 2 plat approval and acceptance. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration today?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Keplinger.
Yes. Before you today, I have River Fork West, RFW Section 2. It is an industrial subdivision of 4 lots totaling 133.241 acres. Those lots range in size from 22.235 to 38.27 acres. It also includes approximately 0.861 acres of right-of-way extension for Progress Drive. Having been approved primarily through the Planning Commission and the secondary plat approved through the Subdivision Plat Committee, the owner has already signed off on the deed of dedication. The city has made provisions for water, sewer, and roadway extension, which are currently in design. Those extensions and construction of a new lift station will be completed in tandem with the private investment that was celebrated last week at a groundbreaking. And so I have this here for your acceptance and approval of those public right-of-ways. And if approved by the board today, I have copies of the plat in the back for your signature before you leave, and the plan would be for the owner to have this document recorded on Wednesday morning, finalizing this process. Any questions for me? Okay.
Any questions or discussion by board members? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to authorize the approval and acceptance of Section 2 plat for River Fork West.
Need a motion?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I move that we approve the RFW Section 2 plat.
Okay, that's a motion. Do we have a second? Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call for approval and acceptance of River Fork West Section 2 plat. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is lead service line replacement, PER, and related matters. Is there a motion to bring those to the floor for consideration today?
Second.
Motion and second. Director Cuttress.
Yes. The first resolution before the board today, Resolution 2026-4, is a resolution authorizing the mayor as the signatory on the SRF SRF loan program related to lead service line replacement, PER, at which we had the public hearing for earlier in the meeting. The lead service line replacement, PER, lays out as part of the application to SRF for future funding the number of current estimated lead service lines that the city has discovered or confirmed to this point. We're continuing to investigate the remaining unknown service lines to determine their material, whether they be composed of lead, galvanized, or are either plastic or copper. The city has till the end of the year, the end of this year, to finalize that. We then have 10 years to replace any either lead or galvanized service lines per the EPA's lead and copper rule. So the city has put together, with the help of Lockmuir Group, an application to SRF for funding, for assistance with funding the replacement of the lead or galvanized service lines. At this point, the current estimate, noting that some of these service lines have yet to be verified of their material, is estimating a project of $8.9 million. That includes full replacement of service lines. It goes from the tap on the main all the way into and including the first shutoff inside the residential property. That is the current extent of what the replacement would look like. That's all based on guidance from the EPA. That construction is not expected to, any construction is not expected to start till the middle of 2027, pending approval and funding through SRF. So as I indicated, Resolution 2026-4 is authorizing the mayor as a signatory on that application, and it would be my recommendation that the board approve Resolution 2026-4 and sign it today.
Further questions or discussion regarding Resolution 2026-4?
And you said you're still discovering lines and in the process of figuring that out?
Yes, so it's been a long, multi-year process that the engineering department, along with assistance from the city utility department, have been investigating the composition of service lines. We know a lot of them to be consisting of either a plastic, a PVC, or copper, but in some of the older areas of the city, There are still some lead or some galvanized water lines. There are, as I indicated, we've identified about 567 that are either confirmed to be lead, galvanized, or unknown. All of the unknowns we are still investigating. We plan to have all those investigated and get a final determination of their material by the end of the year.
Okay.
That percentage again?
Percentage of,
Still looking into?
oh, the number is 567 total. That we're still investigating is, there's a couple hundred of those that we're still investigating.
And did I hear you right? You said that included from the main into the first valve inside the property?
That is correct. We have to go through the foundation of the house. So if it's a basement, we go through the basement wall to that first shut-off location. Yeah, that's going to be the typical situation.
Turn up a lot of yards.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
My thoughts exactly.
Further question or discussion regarding Resolution 2026-4? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to authorize signatures on Resolution 2026-4.
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? Motion and second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Then Resolution 2026-5 is pertaining to the same matters. Is there a motion to authorize acceptance of the PER and authorization of Resolution 2026-5?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration. Not hearing any of this time, we'll call the question in favor of Resolution 2026-5, PER acceptance. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is regarding the 2026 nuisance mowing quotes. Is there a motion to authorize receiving those?
So moved.
Second.
And then second, Director Cutchers.
Yes, thank you. It's that time of year again where grass is starting to grow. The ordinance officers are already noting a few properties that are starting to not maintain their yards. So it's time to open bids for the 2026 nuisance mowing. I have received 2 quotes today. The first one being from Royce Lawn Care and Landscaping. And we asked that they provide essentially a price per hour to mow these properties. The price from Royce Lawn Care appears to be $95 per hour for these properties. The second bid we received is A&S Property Management. The price per hour from A&S Property Maintenance is $52.50. My recommendation at this time would be that the board take these under advisement, and we report back with an award recommendation at the next meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Director Cutchers. Is there a motion to take the bids under advisement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? All is in favor of the recommendation to take the bids under advisement indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries and the bids are taken under advisement. Thank you. Director Cutchers, City Building Lead Paint Abatement Agreement.
Yes, as part of the upcoming renovations on the city building here, we had an environmental study done on the building to look for any hazardous materials that would need disposed of, such as lead paint or asbestos. During that, they found very, very little asbestos on a few small items that are going to be easily abated during the demolition. But however, they did find a significant amount of lead paint, mainly in the old fire station side of the building. So we then we worked with Hagerman to develop a lead paint abatement, and find a contractor to handle that. That contractor has provided the city an agreement that would be Environmental Management Specialist, EMS Inc., who handle lead paint abatement. Their process on this would be to, during the demolition, they would encapsulate all of the lead paint and any associated dust caused by the demolition, package that up. It would get sampled depending on the concentration of the lead in the paint would determine how it gets disposed of. It can either be disposed of as in normal landfill waste, or if the concentrations are high enough, it would have to be disposed of as special hazardous waste. The reason this is going through direct contract between the city and EMS as opposed to going through Hagerman is due to the fact that if this has to be disposed of as special hazardous waste, then the city, being the location at which the waste was generated here in the city building, the owner of that facility, we have to sign all the manifests, and we are in the essentially chain of custody on this hazardous waste. So it makes the most sense for us to be the direct contract with EMS as opposed to running through an intermediary like Hagerman to go through the process. So the agreement with the city and EMS at this time is $133,150. That is a not-to-exceed fee. That number we expect to lower as they work through the process and encapsulate it. If they are able to, if the concentrations are not so high that they're able to dispose of it as normal waste, then that fee will significantly decrease. So, but we do have to plan for the worst case. So it would be my recommendation at this time that the board authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with EMS for the lead paint abatement.
Is there a motion to follow the recommendation and authorize the agreement for lead paint abatement?
I have a question.
Need a motion
Oh,
first.
sorry. We haven't made a motion.
Yep.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, further question and discussion.
Sorry. How many square feet is that?
I don't have that number in front of me. It's essentially 2 floors on the fire station side of the building.
Okay, thanks.
Further question or discussion?
Did they give an estimation of a timeline? I know you said that's flexible depending on how much they find and how long it.
Right. Timeline is all going to depend on how fast they're able to encapsulate it and how fast Hagerman demolishes, but they aren't anticipating anything longer than about a week to
Oh.
get it cleaned up over there.
Further question or discussion? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation to authorize the abatement agreement with EMS Incorporated for the city buildings lead paint abatements. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is Board of Public Works Service Safety Resolution 2026-3, disposition of personal property. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and authorization?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Superintendent Bischoff is here with us today regarding this.
Good afternoon. As it comes from time to time, city has just surplus property that they need to disperse. Having worked with the clerk's office and Mr. Hartberg, we have found GovDeals to be a phenomenal partner in this, where we basically put everything online. They handle all the fee collections. It's quite a seamless process for us. So we have 4 dump trucks and a bucket truck that we're looking to liquidate currently. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions or discussion by board members?
How long have we been using this now?
Since 2020.
Yeah.
You said it was just the 4 dump trucks
Yeah, 4 dump trucks and a bucket truck.
and a bucket truck. This weather has my head super plugged, I can't hear.
Further question or discussion? Okay, not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of adopting Resolution 2026-3. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Moving along to ordinance enforcement, we have 4 status updates, different properties. The first is regarding 521 William Street. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and update?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second. Commissioner Hall?
Good afternoon. The first order we're looking at is on the structural order enforcement. Owner of the property is Horseman Apartments of Huntington LLC, 835 Anchorage Road, Warsaw, Indiana. That order of enforcement was issued on January 14th, 2026. There were 5 unsafe violations, 17 minimum housing violations, along with 16 corrective measures for compliance. As of today, I can confirm that 10 of the 16 of those corrective measures for compliance have been completed. There was a status hearing on February 2nd, 2026. There was a $5,000 fine assessed if not completed by February 13th. During the February 17th Board of Works meeting, the order was again modified until March 16th, and that fine did go into effect from the previous meeting. March 16th, there was a status hearing, and the board modified the order granting an extension until April 20th, and the owner or representative was asked to appear today. As of today, there are 6 of the corrective measures for compliance remaining, which are, they were to provide a written report from a plumbing contractor noting any and all deficiencies and have any deficiencies corrected and then inspected by me to verify. Provide a written report from an HVAC contractor noting any and all deficiencies and have any deficiencies corrected and then inspected by me to verify. Electrical deficiencies noted on written report from electrical contractor. They have done that. They have hired Young Electric. They've got a contract with them. They noted quite a few things that needed to be done, and Young is in process, I believe, of working on that, so that'll get inspected when they're done to verify. They need to complete roofing repairs and then inspected by me. Once the roofing repairs have been completed, they need to repair any walls and ceiling that's been damaged by that water intrusion coming in through the roof and or windows. And then the elevator 3rd floor call button needs to be
Okay. Welcome back, Ms. Smith. What do you have for us by way of an update today?
As far as the elevator goes, we tried to get Coons, I don't know how to pronounce their name. They were working well with us at the beginning, and then after speaking with them, they've decided that they were changing their company policy or whatever. They wanted us to pay this big lump sum of money and sign a year contract with them in order for them to come do any work on our elevator. We're not doing that. It included, their contract was to include the annual inspection on it and small repairs, but it didn't always consider the part or the labor in that. That would have been extra funds. The elevator stopped working on us last month. We called Schnidler, I'm going to pronounce it, elevators. That's who they are. They came out, they fixed the elevator when it was broke at the moment. However, they have never sent us a bill, and they have not come back and done any work. So we have moved forward at this point with Otis. That's like the last people, like, I didn't know to call them first. They have reached out to us. They are sending us an email. They will be out. That call button does work. It just doesn't light up. So, I mean, it's functioning. It just, the light on it doesn't work.
However, we finally reached out to Otis, and they are sending me an email supposedly today to let me know when they'll be out to fix the button and to do an annual. So that's all I have on that. Some of the repairs that Shad was talking about on the 3rd floor that we thought was the roof, we had a contractor come out. He's wanting to start the roof the 1st of May. Due to better weather, he says. But some of the windows that we were having trouble with, where we were having leaks in the actual hallway, was not coming from a roof issue. It was coming from the windows. We have had Bobby Bailey. He has been out there over the past 2 weeks and done all of the tuck pointing on the 2 sides of the whole building from the ground up. So we had an issue with a lower level where the limestone was crumbled at one of the sills. He has repaired all of that. So those issues are all fixed. We have had a plumber in there, Floyd Plumbing, or Radford Plumbing, has done a lot of the work. Henson HVAC now they've done all of the heating. We've received an invoice on that, but they're actually there today because now we're flipped to the AC side of things, so work's continuing with the AC. I asked Shad earlier if there was any way that we could get, since everything's in motion and it's being finished up and taken care of, if I could meet with him in May to do a walkthrough, and in between that time, I will get him the invoices that he has requested. Out of all of them, Young Electric could not book us until the 24th. Like, they could not get out until then. But I guess the issue I'm having is the report that Shad sent me, I'm screenshotting that and sending it to the individual companies that we're trying to have come out with contractors to do the work. They're not sending the emails. We're not getting the emails, we're getting the invoices that has like the unit number and the quantity or the cost, and then it's got a letterhead, it's got the company, but they're not sending that needed email that Shad was asking for. So I don't know how to make them send the email, or they're just sending invoices to me.
What vendor was that again?
That's Henson AC, and then the guy that we used to exterminate, Shad had actually spoke with him on the phone, personally sent him himself what he needed to do to send that, and he still will not send like that needed, the work's getting done. He's coming, we signed a contract like you required and asked for 2 years on the extermination. He's coming every month and doing it, and we signed it, he hadn't sent it back. So I told Shad that I'm gonna work with getting, even if I have to go to the contractors personally and sit down with them to get them to send the emails,
Or just write what it is that you need and have them sign off on it.
Okay, I can do that then. I didn't realize I could do that. But I told him within the next week, I will get all of the finished work sent over to him outside of, well, within the next week, we should have Young Electrical in there as well. The exterminator we've already got, but I'll get him all the emails he needs and then see if he'll set up a time with me like around May the 15th to do the final walkthrough before you should, Shad, June 1st. That way we have time to get him everything, set up a date, do the complete walkthrough of everything before the next. And that's because the roofer's not coming in till the 1st of May.
Further questions by board members?
So for Commissioner Paul, so at this point, what are we missing? Or what have we not hit on of the 6? That was a lot of information taken, I'm sorry.
It's just go to it's number 4, 5, 6.
Well, and we're addressing those, but which ones have not addressed?
the letters from the contractors,
Okay,
except for the electrical. I got that letter.
okay.
Roof repairs, wall and ceilings, repairs.
When are you gonna have that letter?
That's what I'm working on. I have like invoices
Right, when are you gonna have the letter?
this week. I'm gonna go get
Okay.
I'm gonna do
So
what you
plan to
just
have it by Friday?
said to write it.
What about plumbing and HVAC?
Those, we have invoices on those, so I'm just gonna send back a letter and have them respond to it with the invoice.
And then everything that, what's his name? Brick guy, John?
Bobby.
Bobby?
Bobby, yeah.
Bobby Bailey.
Everything that he's done, is that satisfying 12?
He hasn't given me an email either, just a bill, like a $7,000 bill I just paid him.
He doesn't need a letter, right? You just
Right.
need to go look at this.
Yeah, and some of that's gonna, number 12 on that is the damage to walls and windows as a result from the roofing or window leaks. That can wait until once they've got the roofing repairs completed,
Okay.
just to verify them all at the same time.
And when did you say the roofing was gonna be completed?
I'm sorry?
When is the roofing gonna be completed?
He'll be there the first week of May.
And you called Otis, and you're waiting to hear back from them. I would recommend that whenever you schedule your meeting with them, that you get the documentation that you need from them before they leave your property.
Well, the text message that I just received was that the gentleman's name is David, and that he is sending me an email today.
Okay, that doesn't matter
So-
to me. Just get whatever you need to get from them before they leave your property. Okay? So it sounds like to me that this would mostly be wrapped up by the next meeting. Or by June,
June 1st. maybe.
first week of June.
Further question or discussion by board members? If there's not question or discussion, then is there a motion towards action regarding the order to allow for additional time or reporting requirements or otherwise?
Okay.
I guess we could move it to the June 1st meeting, but do we want an update
Yes.
now and then?
Mm-hmm. All right,
Maybe an update on the 18th?
next one's May 4th.
We could do the next one. I was gonna go too, but that's. What do you guys think?
Would like an update on the second meeting of May.
The 18th.
Okay, I'd like to, let's see. Were you gonna make it, Megan?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I make a motion to modify the order for an update on the for May 18th, but coming back on June 1st, with hopefully an extension to the June 1st meeting.
So it's a motion to modify the order of enforcement to extend the deadline for completion to June 1st, 2026, with an update at the May 18th, 2026 meeting.
Correct.
Correct? Is there a second to that effect?
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration. Call a question in favor of modification of the order of enforcement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and the order of enforcement is modified.
Is the time of that 3 o'clock as well on the 18th?
3:30.
3:30, okay.
And Wendy, we're gonna do the next order after this one, so stay here. I'll say it now, the city building is gonna be closed for remodeling, so we will be meeting, it's just right here around the corner of this building, the next building down the street on the right-hand side, it's the Duke Building.
Do you have an address?
Yes, I'll send it to you.
You'll get noticed.
It's 217 West State Street, so it's just right here.
Okay.
right around the corner, so you know that.
Yep, and as you're communicating with Shad in between the meetings, he'll make sure that you're aware of the address and the time and
Okay, thank
where to find it in the building there, so. Next is a status update regarding the extermination order of enforcement for 521 William Street. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Commissioner Paul.
Yes, I'll go through it again. The owner is Horseman Apartment of Huntington LLC, 835 Anchorage Road, Warsaw, Indiana. That order was issued on January 14th, 2026. That order went into effect immediately after 10 days, so it was immediately assessed, or immediately an order of enforcement. During the February 2nd meeting, there was a $5,000 fine assessed. During the March 2nd meeting, there was also an additional $5,000 fine assessed. During the April 6th meeting, there were 4 items left to be completed, and there was an additional $5,000 fine assessed. As of today, we are waiting on basically four items. The owner shall provide the following information on this is with the contract with the pest management professional. They shall provide a detailed plan of action for the structure. Plan of action shall detail contributing factors to the infestation and what methods will be utilized for removal. The owner shall hire a pest management professional for a 2-year contract for continued monitoring and treatments as needed, and they shall provide a copy of the signed contract to the building commissioner. The owner shall maintain an on-site logbook containing safety data sheets for all chemicals used, a site map showing the location of all rodent bait stations, and service reports signed by the property management after each visit. And then the owner shall maintain sanitation reports. After each visit, the pest management professional will provide a written list of structural or sanitation flags. Then apartment 402 has a leaking pipe or excessive trash/animal feces. The management/owner shall enter this information into the logbook, and all flagged issues shall be corrected within 7 to 10 days of being reported. So those 4 items is what we are waiting on.
Okay. Ms. Smith, anything you want to add?
The logbook is there. It's a black binder logbook. It's sitting on the desk. We have hired an exterminator. He comes every month. He fills all of that stuff out. I'm going to scan it all in and email it up to him. The only thing he has not done is the same as the other people. He has not sent the email. We did sign a contract with him. We signed it and sent it. We're waiting on him to send that back, so I'm going to have to contact him. There for a moment, he's been coming, he's been treating, he's been spraying. There was a conflict of interest with the health department for a minute with the exterminating, and he almost quit. We were getting ready to have to look and start this whole process all over again because of the conflict of interest with them. But I'm assuming they've got that lined out now, and he's going to continue on with the contract that we had sent over to him.
Chad, have you received a copy of the contract?
No.
No.
Okay. Does the contract contain the scope of work that he's providing for you and what his treatment plan?
It does. The thing is we sent that over to him. We signed our end of it. He leaves a receipt that states every unit that he sprays, which one might have what rodent in it or what he does, and he leaves it on a receipt. We have every single one of the receipts. But to get him to put it in a formal email or in writing, we did that part for him because he's not computer savvy or whatever. We did that part and we sent it over to him. But I mean, even Shad has personally sent that same information to him. He spoke on the phone with him, and there's not getting that feedback, even though we've asked for it. And
So you've not even received back a copy of the signed contract?
correct. The only thing we have is every month when he comes in, he writes down on a receipt how much it cost us and every unit that he baited or sprayed or what he did to treat it. That's what he gives to us. That seemed to be what we get from most of the contractors or the people, is just a detailed invoice or receipt.
They sending you bills?
No, they write them while they're sitting there. Like Bobby Bailey's done it, the HVAC did it, the exterminator, they write down the bill and rip it out of their book and hand you the invoice.
Could he bring you a paper contract to sign and then you could?
We did, that's what we did. We typed it up and sent it to him, but he did the same thing. He sent him as well, this is what we need for him to do and produce, and he just hasn't, or doesn't know if he's computer savvy enough to do that or not.
Could a paper version not suffice?
Sure. What I had sent to the contractor was, this is what the board is expecting to see.
Okay, and he's
So he
just
would
not.
know, so he could get it to Wendy, and then
And I've sent it to him as well, but, because I asked, could
Do you
help
have that
me?
on hand at the building and he could just?
Yeah, we do have one. We have a binder at the building that he writes in
Yeah,
when he
yeah, you
leaves
have
the
that, but
receipts.
what is it that he is not returning to you? A copy of the contract? or-
Yeah, of the 2 years that he's going to be there. That's what we're still waiting on.
Well, we're only asking for the contract because, well, I guess it says contracted.
Yeah.
pest management,
Yeah.
yeah. Detail plan, yeah.
So
I feel
he's
like
coming
that's-
every
And you-
month. He's
so-
filling out the book.
So he's handing you invoices for you to pay, but you don't have a contract?
Yes. That's why I reached out to Shad and asked for help, because I'm trying to get what you guys are asking for, but I can't force other people to provide me the information. So I asked Shad to help reach out to see if they would, like, he would have better luck getting that, what we need, and he's not getting it either, so.
So this says that it has, the contract has to have a detailed plan of the action for the structure. Do you know what that plan is?
I do know what the plan is, and I know this isn't the time or place, but the plan of action that we put together, which was what was asked of us to do, we did. And as we put that plan of action together, and I know this has nothing to do with you guys, but the health department stepped in and said, no, that isn't the plan of action, you have to do it this way. We're trying to do it here, they're telling us we can't do it that way, and then the exterminator said he's not putting his license on the line to do it the way the health department wants, so he wasn't gonna do it at all. Like, so we had this little conflict going on there for a few weeks on, and even Shad had that conversation with the health department
has that
and
been
disagreed
resolved?
with them as well.
Has that been resolved?
It finally has now, I believe. But he was wanting us, the health department was wanting us to run chemicals more than what the state law prohibited the licensed exterminator to.
Okay, that's all fine. I just want to know that that's part of the plan, and the plan needs to be detailed for us to see.
Yeah, well, we did, and then we thought we were gonna have to change the detailing of the plan to suit both parties, the city and the health department, so we could take care of both at the same time. But then the exterminator said, I can't do, like, the chemical bottles say this or this, and I can't not abide by what the labeling says. So we thought we was gonna have to start all over and find a new exterminator, but
Sounds like a viable option.
well, I called 2 other ones, and they said they will not go against the labeling on the chemical bottles. They won't put their license on the line for that.
When did I thought the health department released their order on this property.
Yeah.
it's my understanding they issued their order of enforcement, and on March 20th was their deadline date, and they were to come back in and do another inspection, but I've not heard anything if they have or not.
He
Because I
came-
haven't been
Do you
in
have
contact
anything
with them.
from the health department with you today?
I don't have anything with me today.
Has your correspondence been by email with the health department?
With Brian.
Okay.
Yeah, with Brian.
Can you share those materials with Commissioner Paul for
Yeah.
us? That'd be
Well,
helpful.
Yes, I will do that,
Yeah.
but he had the same discussion with Brian on what Brian was trying to force us to do, and even Shad disagreed about following the labels and the chemical labeling on the bottle. He even told Brian that it wasn't a good idea to do that, so that's been our conflict.
It sounds like that's been resolved, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Brian let it go.
Okay.
So,
And I had explained to Wendy that once we get these 4 items that we need, our order of enforcement can be released.
Right.
And then anything to do with the health department is with their order of enforcement. That's a separate, completely separate matter that they need to deal with on their own.
And I understand that it's a separate matter. It just caused conflict when I have you guys and then I have the health department, and you're both after the same thing, but I'm being told two separate, you have to do this or you have to do this. And then it makes a conflict of interest for me when I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to be doing.
So other than the contract that we're not getting somehow, are you satisfied with the logbook and are we satisfied with the other things here, other than the contract, basically?
The last time I was on site and sat in Wendy's office, I seen the logbook and everything that they,
So it's just,
it was the start of it. Nothing had been filled in at that time.
Right.
But
Okay.
Yes.
So does the logbook contain pest control information and maintenance information for each unit?
Yep.
So there's not separate?
It's a ginormous book that's got dividers in it that we even set there anytime that anybody wants to walk in, whether it be the fire chief, if it's the health department, if it's city, whoever wants to walk in, any information they need to know, whether it's Elwood or our elevators, or it's all in that binder.
do
can
you
look it up.
feel that this is going to be a reputable exterminator between what you're having right now and the issues and stuff? Is this someone you want to continue with?
We've
or-
used him for years.
Okay.
Yeah, we've used him for years at majority of our properties.
Okay,
Yeah.
because the contractual issue seems to be our hangup
Yeah,
here.
so
and-
what's the struggle?
The struggle is that the bottle that he uses of chemicals says that it cannot be
Right,
used.
I get that, but we're
Just,
after
I mean, basically, since that logbook is on site and I've seen, we really just need to copy that signed
Yeah.
contract. 2-year contract that
Okay.
they're going
to
to
release this one.
do monthly and monitoring of it. So basically, we just need that contract, signed contract by both parties.
Okay, so if something written, is written up and she writes it, we're happy with this?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay,
this could, yes, our order could be released.
okay.
Okay. So how soon can you, do we just do it during the next update while she's here?
I'm
give
gonna
you
try to
ample
have
time.
everything that you need before then. I'm gonna have it sent over to him as quick as possible over the next week. The only thing we will definitely not have done is probably the ceilings, because we have to wait for the roof to be repaired first before we can go inside. We actually fixed a ceiling for him. And then when he came back, I said, you've got this on my order, and we fixed it, but here it's fallen down already because it's the roof. So once we get the roof, probably the only thing by the 18th that probably may not be done, and it may be, is the inside repairs once the roof gets fixed. I'm hoping by the 18th it'll all be done.
Okay, board members, is there a motion to modify the order of enforcement to extend the deadline to June 1st and provide an update at the May 18th meeting, and consideration for an additional fine for willful failure pending not meeting the June 1st deadline?
I make a motion to modify the order of enforcement.
And did you say an amount?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm requesting a motion.
Oh,
As far as amount?
I would make it conditional on getting
Yes.
reporting and the contract provided.
Okay. I make a motion to modify the order of enforcement with an update as the same on the May 18th and to extend it to the June 1st, with a willful failure to comply with the 5,000, but not putting it in until the June 1st with the conditions of completing, having everything
Pending
completed.
fulfillment.
Yes. You make it sound so much nicer.
So I have a
Thank you.
motion to modify the order of enforcement to extend the completion to June 1st with an update of the May 18th, and also assessing a potential $5,000 fine for willful failure to comply pending lack of fulfillment by June 1st.
Thank you.
Second.
Is that correct? Second?
Yes.
Further discussion and consideration? Not hearing any. All in favor of the modification to the order of enforcement indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and the order of enforcement is modified. Commissioner Paul will follow up for you with the meeting details of the next one. So,
Great, thank you.
okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is status updates regarding 765 and 769 East Washington Street. Is there a motion to bring those to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Commissioner Paul.
Yes, the owner of the property is Hanover Lending LLC, 2042 Broadway Street, Fort Wayne, Indiana. That order of enforcement was issued on September 30th, 2025. There were 10 unsafe violations, 9 minimum housing violations, and 7 corrective measures for compliance. Looks like we had done, order was affirmed, we've done 1, 2, 3 modifications to allow additional time. As of 15th, I stopped by, April 15th, I stopped by and stopped by on the 15th and took photos. Maybe I never uploaded the photos. They have all corrective measures for compliance completed. So I would be my recommendation to release the order of enforcement at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Shopper, welcome back. Thank you for getting all this work taken care of. Board members, that is the update, and the corrective measures have been completed. Is there a motion in line with the recommendation to release the order of enforcement at this time?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, the order of enforcement on 765, 769 East Washington Street is released following the owner's completion of all the corrective measures. Next item on the agenda is 631 First Street. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and discussion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Commissioner Paul.
My apologies. I'm just looking here. I did take photos. I just didn't download them. The owner of that property is Hanover Lending LLC, 2042 Broadway, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Order of enforcement was also issued on September 30th, 2025. There were 8 unsafe violations, 9 minimum housing violations, and 8 corrective measures for compliance. Same as the other one, this one has been modified 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I stopped by on April 15th, and looks that they have now completed 2 of the 8 corrective measures for compliance. The detached garage entry door and overhead door has been replaced. Got repaired some of the wood trim on the garage. The outside corners have been replaced. Fascia boards have been replaced. Looks like it's been scraped and prepped for paint. The big issue remaining is the roof is now in worse condition than it was when we first done the order. It was the south side, the upper south side of the roof. Now it's on the south and north side damage. It was just that. Now it's a lot worse than what it is in that photo. And then that side's a lot worse now too. So the roof damage is increased, assumably because of the high winds. Priority is the roofing assembly on the home, a couple window repairs remaining, and painting the wood surfaces.
Thank you. Ms. Shopper, anything you'd like to add on the progress on the repairs?
Well, I drove by there again, and I know the roof is a problem. Obviously, it will have to be replaced. There's no saving it. And I thought we are down to painting. I didn't particularly focus on the window glass, but I mean, we are close, and I don't know why the painting contractor isn't up here today on such a beautiful day, but I'm sure he has other jobs, and we're getting that done very soon. And the roof, well, my son was looking for a roofing contractor. He wasn't happy with the latest ones. So would there be any recommendations from Huntington?
So at this time, you're between roofers, trying to find a roofer to finish the work?
Have to get the roof done with the painting. I thought they would come up here and see it painted and it would look so much better, but not yet.
Have you ever received the timeline? Do you have a timeline with you today?
No, but I suppose I have to ask for additional time, maybe weeks or a month.
Tell us when you're gonna have it done.
Well, I mean, those two items that I'm thinking of, the paint and the roof. A month should do it. Roof is extra busy right now, I can't say.
You said you had a roofer and he wasn't working out, so you're looking for a new one, or you have one in mind?
No, that's a painter, the painting contractor, but the roof, that is a separate issue. We have to find somebody
Okay.
to do it.
There are a lot of roofing contractors in town. I mean, you can just drive around town and see they've all got signs in people's yards and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of roofing work going on right now. So got to get on their schedule. That's a big deal, you know, because it's leaking on the inside now, right?
Probably.
Can't have that.
Further question or discussion by board members?
We could load up on the May 18th meeting, I guess, an update.
Yeah.
That would be.
So we need what, roof and windows? Right? Or is it
We extending this?
roof and paint? Okay.
So the painting won't be a problem. That is all lined up at the roof.
In the meantime, maybe a timeline to Commissioner as well.
That's item 1 under the order of enforcement, corrective measures.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's item 1 under the corrective measures for the order of
Yeah.
enforcement timeline.
Okay. 2 weeks. Make a motion to modify the order of enforcement with an update for the May 18th meeting, but getting a timeline to Commissioner Paul as soon as possible before then, and getting some on the roofing.
Yeah.
So,
So is that motion to modify the order of enforcement to extend the deadline to May 18th, or just an update at the May 18th meeting?
extend the deadline to May 18th.
Okay. So a motion to modify the order of enforcement, extend the deadline for the work to be completed to May 18th. Any further items? Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and second to modify the order of enforcement to extend the work deadline to May 18th. Further discussion and consideration by board members. Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of modifying the order of enforcement to extend the work deadline to May 18th. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries and the order of enforcement is modified. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not aware of any miscellaneous items for the good of the order. Move along to accounts payable. Is there a motion to authorize payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington? Seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorization of payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned. Have a great week. Don't forget to sign the plat at the back table here.